Essentially, Seisticism is a kind of mix of philosophies that can help you upgrade your life for the better. Because I've read and practiced Stoicism for a bit, and it is a very interesting philosophy, except it can definitely confuse you. So I've kind of simplified it, mixed it with a bunch of other things, and I've created something that's called Seisticism. Hello everybody, this is the Modern Philosopher. I welcome you to my channel and to learning about Seisticism, the New Age philosophy. Well, I shouldn't exactly say New Age philosophy because it was basically me who created it. Now, why did I create it? Because I thought of a better way to fix philosophy. No, in reality, I used to practice Stoicism for about a year, and you know what? It changed some things. To a good and a bad way. It made me accomplish a lot of things, but it also made me really confused. Because it's basically about the devotion to discipline, but also the non-acknowledgement of your emotions. Now, if you're not careful with that, you will be a robot. Meaning, you will lose your feelings and then you will lose your passion. And once you lose your passion, good luck living life. Because discipline cannot help you live your life. It can certainly better it, but it is not the ultimate goal. I basically researched Stoicism, I learned about Taoism, I learned about a lot of other things, to help me live life. But in the end, it wasn't enough. Because all of these philosophies are great for living your life. They're great for living your life. Perfect, almost. But if you don't know how to follow them, you will end up unlucky. And you will end up not feeling that great because at the end of the day, you can do your tasks and you can do your habits, but if you don't know what you're doing it for, yeah, it's not gonna help you live a good life. Because I see all of these videos online on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok and on practically every social media platform that's like Stoicism, devotion, gym, and it's like those are not just the things that Stoicism teaches. And I'm like, that's not what Stoicism teaches. Have you even read Marcus Aurelius? You know? Have you met the guy? No, you haven't. Frick you doing? It's a great thing to practice Stoicism if you've even read the books, if you've even read anything about Stoicism. But if you go on any kind of platform and you just read a bunch of quotes and you think that's enough, no. It's not just about showering with cold water. It's not just about that. Do you even know why you're doing it? Or it's to gain better, what? Discipline? Devotion? Motivation? Inspiration? Asian? It's, look, Stoicism teaches you how to practice for things that may come, so that you may not be afraid if they do come and when they come. Right? It's about controlling your emotions. It's not about losing them. But apparently, every Stoic TikTok profile thinks that Stoicism is something you only do in the gym. It's not. Stop doing it. Read a book. Grab it. It's right there. I should actually grab it. For real. If you want to learn about philosophy, learn all kinds of different philosophy. If you're into religion, read a lot of religious books. Don't just read one passage and be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. You don't even practice it, my dude. What are you doing? And I see these total opposites of things. It's like, oh, one side is this, the other side is this, and then they're always in a constant fight. Have we not gone past that? Have we not gone past everything? Anything? Have we not learned that it's about time to stop? It's time to stop. Because this isn't serving us. Neither of us. We're all just pinpointing at each other and yelling at each other because we don't like how we're living life. And at the end of the day, the only person that can make a difference in your life is yourself. And it's not just about listening and following others. I see so many people, even if you read philosophy and all kinds of things like that, you have idols and people that you want to follow and be like. You have never even met these people. What are you doing? Stop doing that. Stop having idols. Idols are just people like you and me. People like ordinary people. And you're following those people? Great. If you want to be like them or if you want to achieve something like that, that's great. That's fantastic. But don't honor them. Don't worship them to the point where you're basically their slave. Like, past that, you know? You should be grateful. I don't see gratitude most of these days. And Seisticism, which is different than Stoicism, of course, is about gratitude. It's about appreciating what life has to offer you right now, not in the future. Because if you're constantly training for the future, that future will always keep on coming and it will never arrive. Because that's the future. Right now, you have the present. The present is all that matters. It doesn't matter if you plan ahead at like for 1 year, for 2 years, for 10 years. What matters is what you do now. And even if you change your plans, even if you change your goals and stuff, it shouldn't be that scary. Why do people not understand that we as humans are adaptable? We're literally adaptable. We were made to adapt. None of other animals can do that. You need to learn how to adapt. And stop fearing yourself. Stop fearing if you fail. Fearing weakness is weakness. That's literally what it is. It's even in the book, the Seistic Guide that I wrote, by the way. But for real, it's a collection of those things which I've thought about. It's like, if you fear weakness, then that is your weakness. Does that make sense to you? Basically, what it means. If you always are afraid of failing, it will keep on coming to you. So, tread carefully. Even Bruce, why did I say Bruce? What did I mean to say Bruce Willis? Bruce Lee, he even said, everyone wants to learn the way to win, never the way to lose. Why is that? Why is that? Because nobody wants to learn the art of dying. Now, what does dying mean? And why are people so afraid of it? I'm guessing they're afraid of the process to die, to never do anything again. But we die every day. We abandon our hope. Hope is the one thing we have to keep going. And what do we use our time for? To watch silly little videos? To watch other people? And not learn anything from that. Now, I understand it's okay to turn off every once in a while, to watch some things, to, realize all of that, but it's brain numbing to the point where they're actually abusing you. This helmet never stays on, right? It is important to learn how to think. That's the one thing we haven't been taught. How should we think? Everyone else tells us how we should act, how we should behave, never how we should think. Nobody says, oh, that's a bad way of thinking, unless you're negative. No way. Because nobody knows what's going on inside your head. And you know what? You wanna change? How about you start to change from yourself and you find the way that you speak to yourself? How do you speak about yourself? Do you say, oh, I'm a horrible person. Oh, I think horrible thoughts. I want to commit acts of treason. you know? How do you think? What is it about your thoughts? And why are you thinking that way? What is the root? Now, I will say do not spend too much thoughts trying to delve deep into yourself because sometimes you'll be scared of what you find. In general, find the thing that can help you change and find the moment that you fail and ask yourself, why did I fail? For example, you're trying to go on a specific diet or something, a time where you're very hungry. You've just come back from work and you're like, oh, I really want to grab that chips. And you're like, no, 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 I'm on a diet. You head into the fridge, you look at the healthy stuff, and then you look at the chips on the side, and you're like, maybe I should debate about having this chips. Right? Such a simple little daily thing. It's so easily trampled because you don't have faith in yourself. You're like, oh, but I've done this before, so I'll do it again. Really? How about you stop thinking that you're not you? It's depersonalization. If you haven't realized by now, a lot of religions and a lot of philosophies ask you to depersonalize yourself, meaning to distance oneself from yourself. Isn't that interesting? Seisticism is the same way of behaving. Seisticism is about knowing what you value over other things. It's about finding your distractions. It's the most important thing. What is your distraction? And I know a lot of people will say, or a lot of other, TikTok stoics will say, oh, you're weak if you reach to that chip bag. But they do it every day. Have you seen them? There's a reason why they don't post pics of themselves. In general, distract yourself with other distractions. Now how does that work? You have to find what is your main big distraction. What's your ick in yourself? For example, maybe, you like a lot of sweets. It's just an example. I don't know what else to use right now. Nothing's coming to mind. But find a way to find another distraction. Say you like tiramisu cake. I don't know, Black Forest cake, whatever you guys eat. You see that cake, and you're like, that looks good. But there's, I don't know, some kind of gluten-free cakes over there, or there's some kind of cakes with less sugar in them. I'm a little addicted to sugar. Maybe I should have less sugar, not have that Black Forest cake. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and buy a cake, but I'm gonna buy a healthier version of it. It doesn't have to be extremely, but it's the first step. And you know what? The next time you're in that store, you'll be like, hey, well, I've bought this cake before. I'll buy it again. And you do that. Then the next time, after a few times, you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna buy that cake I usually buy. I'm gonna buy something even healthier. Or, I'm gonna make a healthy cake myself. So essentially what you're doing is you're going minus distraction, minus distraction, minus to that point where it's kind of okay. You ease yourself into this. You're not forcing yourself to be like extremely like, you eat Black Forest cake every day and then suddenly you go to the grocery store and you want to buy that same cake and you do it. And then one day you're like, I'm not going to eat anything. I'm not going to eat this. I'm not going to buy it. So you don't buy it for 1 day. You don't buy it for 2 days. You don't buy it for 3 days. The fourth day you're going to buy it. You're marching into that store because no matter what, you want that cake. What does this teach us? That distractions can help distract you in a better way to a better life, essentially. That's what you should do. Distract yourself with better distraction. Don't listen to TikTok Stoics, if anything. Some of them are great, actually. They have great edits, but, at the end of the day, it is you, my friend, who has the battles, not them. You don't know what they have in their brains. You don't know their aspirations. It's time to wake up. It's time to realize what suits you best. What suits your family best. What suits your emotional needs. And you know what? If everyone is afraid of emotion, then you guys will not learn anything. You think learning just how to physically move your body in the gym to lift more is stoicism? It's discipline? You know what's real discipline? Training your thoughts and not using pain to do it. Have you thought about that? Everyone thinks that you must go through pain, and to that extent, some of it is true. Yes, correct. But you must learn how to actually transform yourself with your thoughts and then with your body. Seisticism, for example, there's 4 phases. Natural surroundings. First one, it's how you accommodate yourself as human in your surroundings. So for example, how do you behave in society? Learning how to take care of yourself in that natural surrounding, right? And then you've got soul realignment, which means your thoughts, how they can teach you how to fix your own brain. Because everybody teaches you a lot of things, but they never teach you how to think. So that is your own task, my friend. Learn how to think better. The next thing we've got is spirit exercise. It's about how you react in your society, in your friend groups, in your family, and whatever it is. Finding the things that tick you and then slowly manipulating yourself into behaving into the way you want to behave, not how others make you feel, right? It's not about the emotions. It's not about how emotionally it triggers you. It's about realizing why, if you're speaking, for example, or if you're thinking something, why you're thinking it in the first place. No thought is original to that point. All of our thoughts have come from some place or another, and it's up to you to cleanse your thoughts and cleanse your speech and your communication with people. The next thing we have is physical conditioning. Balance yourself. It's about learning agility. It's about learning lifting weights. It's about stretching. It's about all these other things. It's about your reaction time, because even though you react physically, you also react mentally. So it's about all of that. I highly, highly, highly suggest you check it out. I will write a few articles. I will keep on speaking about Seisticism and how it came to be in my mind, how it came to realization. And, I hope that this has somehow given you the motivation to trust yourself, to have that inner trust and have less doubts, start to do things slowly. Don't always focus on rushing things because rushing them usually means they end pretty quick as well. You want to get there fast, you're going to lose it fast. Keep that in mind. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Check out my website, check out my Instagram, check out whatever you want. It's all in the description below. My book as well, The Seistic Guide, or A Guide on How to Completely Change Your Life, is also out. Volume 1, at least. And yes, I'm so glad to be able to speak and to finally have the energy to talk about these things because, I've been practicing Seisticism myself for the past few weeks to an extreme point, and I'm hoping that Seisticism can help you refuel yourself, can help you realize your goals and achieve them better. You know, it's all about that. It's about progress with a natural flow. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.